In today's video, I am going to be discussing a pretty mundane and almost boring topic, in my opinion. Well, I guess it depends on what you enjoy talking about, but it's a lot less what's the word? Impactful as last week's video was, for example. Not saying that video was so impactful, but you know what I mean. And that is the topic that we're doing today. Is I'm just going to be ranting about curly versus straight hair, I guess, and then I'm also going to talk about my, not this, but my eyes, because I just think the way in which my brothers and my genetics played out is interesting. And I'm just curious if anyone else has any input on that. So, without further ado, let's begin. So when it comes to the hair, I'm more going to discuss curly versus straight and my thoughts on my hair and stuff like that. So yeah. So let's get started. So, curly hair. I think for the most part, I think I'm happy that I have curly hair. Also, let me just say that unless explicitly said otherwise, when I say I prefer this, I mean I prefer it on myself, and I prefer I don't mean that I think it is the best looking or whatever, right? I mean, I'm more when I'm going to talk about the pros and cons, I'm more referring to upkeep and effort and stuff like that, not so much which looks better, because I think both could look great. It doesn't really matter in my opinion. But anyways, just wanted to put that out there. So I am happy to have curly hair just because that's the issue, right? I'm lazy when it comes to caring for my hair, as in making sure it's styled and that it looks great and all that. But I don't know if I'm lazy when it comes to caring for hair because I have curly hair, and it's like a double-edged sword. It's freeing to not have to care for it, but then it's also annoying because when I say care for it, I know you have to care for it. You have to make sure it's perfectly uniform. You know what I mean? I don't have straight hair, so I can't really comment too much on the straight hair experience. But my brother has straight hair and he complains about it, so it must be annoying to try to style it. So it's a blessing to not have to do that, but it's also a curse because in my experience, no matter what I do, I can't style it. It has a mind of its own, essentially. I will do whatever I want to it and it will just go back. There's nothing I can do about it. And it looks so different from depending on really weird circumstances, if that makes sense. So for example, tonight it's quite compressed at the top, and you can see here it's very I can't explain it. Maybe not as curly. It's more looking a bit wavy at the end, I guess. I mean, it's still curly, but I can't explain what I'm trying to explain. Well, I guess up here, see how it's whereas down here it's long. It gets like that whenever I have the hoodie on or whenever I wear a hat. Don't know why. I'm sure there's probably some scientific reason for it, but I don't know. And so tonight, until I wet the hair and brush it out and all that, it will just look like this, and there's nothing I can do about it. Truly, I can go like that, like that, and I have done that before starting this video, and it's still going to look like quite compressed. It looked worse, but still. So it's a blessing and a curse, because it's kind of nice to be like, oh, whatever, I can't do anything about it, who cares? But then it's also annoying because it's like, well, you know, it looks crap and I want to do something about it, but I can't. But I'm sure if I really looked into it, there's probably ways to do things about it, but I'm content where I am. Yeah, I guess that ties back into the lazy thing, but yeah, I'm content with how it looks. And so with like the genetics thing, like the brothers, I inherited my mother's hair. Like, my hair looks identical to my mother's. Not colour, but like curls. She's got really curly hair. And I don't know what like her natural hair colour is these days because she dyes it. But what was I gonna say? But I know that the curls are identical. And then my middle brother, like the next born in line. There's 3 of us. The middle child has like almost like a wavy type of hair, and then the 3rd child has straight hair. Like, he has his little cowlick at the front, but other than that, straight hair. I just find it really interesting how like we all came out with like a gradient, like me curliest, then as each child comes along, it's like in like not ascending and not descending. It's in chronological order. It's like in an order. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's a word. I feel like there's a word that I'm missing, but it's in like that order. There's an order to it. So I just think it's interesting how we all came out with different hair. That was more just like a fun fact I wanted to drop. Like, it's nothing really important, but I was actually born with like white hair. I think all of my brothers and I were. I think like every baby is, or like every like white baby. I don't know. I really don't know. But I was born with really like white hair and really like blue eyes. And as I got older, both of them have darkened. The eyes are still blue, but like they're not like light blue. Like they're probably more, maybe a mix between these 2 colours. And now they're more like, I can't even describe. I'll describe them later on. So, anyways, where was I going with this? I had blonde hair, went dark. Another thing that I wanted to say actually, is like, I personally don't understand. Okay, by the way, let me I feel like I'm like treading into difficult territory at the minute, but I'll just say it anyways. I don't really understand society's like obsession with blonde hair. I'm not saying it's ugly. I don't think it's ugly. Again, I think like every hairstyle can be beautiful, or like it can be nice. It can be good. See, it just depends on like the person's face, of course. But I just feel like, I mean, I don't know really like what the beauty standards are like these days. And when I'm saying beauty standards, when I'm talking about like blondness, I'm more referring to like the beauty standards for women. Because I mean, I don't know what the hair standards are for men. I guess that you have some. I don't know, but I just feel like blonde hair is overrated, and I feel like a lot of people I see online, no hate to anyone, but like a lot of people I see online who I'm talking people who like do not know me, I do not know them, like, you know, not influencers. Sorry about that. Not influencers, but just people. And I always see some of them. I sometimes see them. Sorry, I just made a really disturbing phase. It's 3 AM right now because my brother is on school holidays and he would not go to sleep, and I think he's still awake now, but he's off his game, so he's gonna be quiet. So I'm getting tired, so I'm trying my best not to yawn. But anyways, so if I make like really really disturbing faces, it's because I'm really trying not to yawn. Anyways, so where was I going? Beauty standards. Yeah, I see people who are like obsessed with trying to make their hair like as blonde as possible, and then there's this one woman I remember seeing, and she was like, trying out different hair colors, like all that type of stuff, and I think she had historically had like blonde hair, like dyed blonde, and her natural hair was, I think, brown or black. Surely brown, because I think it's difficult to go blonde when you have black hair. Again, I don't know, but she looked like great with the brown hair, and like, not saying she looked horrible with the blonde, but in my opinion, and the opinion of the comment section, everyone was saying like, go the brown, like the brown looks great, and I just feel like there's so many people who are convinced that like blonde is this beautiful, like perfect hair color, when like, I don't know, I just think it's a bit overrated. I don't know if that's because in the past I had blonde hair, so I've become like accustomed to it, or what, I don't know. So I just want to say, I'm not hating on anyone who has blonde hair. I think it's beautiful. Like, I just feel like as a society we put too much emphasis on it. But yeah, that's just all I wanted to say. So hopefully, like, I haven't offended anyone, because I do not mean it in an offensive way. It's just like my opinion, and again, I don't hate it. I just think it's overrated. It's just like a societal critique, in my opinion. I think every hair color is like beautiful in its own way, and there shouldn't be like one that we just go like, oh, that's better, because it's not. And I guess like beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but you know what I mean. Especially in like the early 2000s, when like beauty standards, especially for women, were absolutely horrific, like in like every capacity. So anyways, again, I can't comment on the beauty standards for men, especially when it comes to hair color, because I have no idea. And I know that obviously what a straight woman might find attractive in a man may differ to what a straight may differ to what a gay man finds attractive in a man, and that also may differ to what a straight man finds attractive in a man, if that makes sense. Like when you see a lot of these like looks magazines who have like these ripped bodies, and a lot of women and a lot of like gay men will say that like that's not that great looking, but other straight guys will be like, yeah, that looks great. It's just, again, like, I don't know, right? So anyways, it's kind of getting off topic. Like, that can be maybe another topic if anyone's interested, like beauty standards and like maybe like a social critique. I did a sociology class this past semester, and I got a good mark for it. It was my best mark. So I love a good criticism of like society and like social structures and social norms, etc., etc. So that's kind of what I was doing when I was talking about the beauty standards. Again, I don't want to. I'm trying to be a impartial, critique. Oh my god, I was about to say criticizer. Critic, not critique. Sorry, an impartial critic who makes critiques. But anyways, so yeah, that's that. Tangent done. Sorry if it was offensive. I'm just gonna shush because I keep saying that, and I'm sure you understand. What I was trying to say, I hope. Okay, next topic. Actually, I might talk about this. My see, this bit looks like whitish. Basically, in different lighting, I would actually say that my hair color is like dirty blonde brown, but a lot of people tell me it's actually like ginger, or like it's slightly ginger, depending on the light. I have no idea. Like, I don't know what color it is. And that's the thing, because I was born with blonde hair and it's slowly darkened, it's kind of become this weird, like, mutated color that I can't really describe what it looks like, because it looks really different depending on the lighting. And that goes with the beard, right? This bit is like white, where it gets like dense is like brown, and then here, again in person I'm saying this, here it's like red. So like I have no idea where, like what colour I could say. It's like a bit of everything, and my mother actually just said that her father, so my grandfather, had ginger, or like streaks of ginger, so I probably got it from him, or like his side of the family. I'm not really sure, right? Like, I have no idea. It's not that important, but I just think like it's an interesting observation. So yeah, that's the end of the hair topic, I think. Yeah. So we'll go on to the quick like eye one, and then I will finish the video because I need to get ready for bed, considering it's 3:10 at the minute. Now that I've actually finished university, I'm thinking about increasing my uploads. I just need to keep thinking of things to talk and rant about. And also I said in a comment, because obviously not everyone's gonna read the comments, so I'll repeat it here actually. At some point in the future, I'm thinking of doing like a Q&A type of thing. So, feel free to leave any comments any questions in the comments if you have any, and I will like note them down on like a Google Doc. And then when I decide to do the video, I'll make like another post, like a written post on YouTube, and where you guys can leave questions there, and just in case you missed this little call out. This like hypothetical Q&A video is probably not going to be for a while, because I want to wait until there's obviously more people who can like leave questions, or more questions to be asked, that type of thing. I guess it depends on how many questions everyone has, but anyways. Because I obviously do not want to make a Q&A that only has like 5 questions. So yeah, just putting that out there if anyone's curious about me. Sorry, it sounds so like self-obsessed, but you know what I mean. So anyways, part 2, which is eye colour, and this is going to be very short because I kind of just want to talk about like recessive genes, essentially. Like, I'm more going to discuss like the genetics component of it, because that's what I think is interesting about my eyes specifically. Also, someone has just started up a loud car. I'm going to try to speak over it, and hopefully it isn't too loud. I can like hear it in the background. It's like white noise, but you might not be able to hear it. But like when it first started up, I don't know, it was loud. But anyways, okay. Yeah, so genetics. That's what I actually think is interesting about my eyes. I don't really like, I mean the colour's like alright, but I just more like the genetic part of it. So as I said, I was born with blue eyes, and they were like lighter than what they are now, and they've like undergone some change. So let me just describe my eyes, and I'll compare it to my siblings, and I guess that's where you'll see my point. And my parents. So my mother has iris, like most of her iris is hazel, and then on the inside of the iris, near the pupil, it's like a dark, like a brown. My dad, I don't know, I think his eyes are just brown. They're either just brown or hazel, or like really dark brown, I'm not sure. That sounds really horrible, but I just don't really pay attention to eye colour too much. That's just like my thing. I still remember I had a friend who was like, she would always make like eye contact and stuff, and I do as well. I just don't really pay attention to eye colour. And like one time she was like, "Oh, what colour's my eye?" And she got like annoyed because I had no idea. Just something I don't pay attention to. Also, that car has started driving, and like, I don't know where they're driving to, like, because it sounds like an equal distance from me. Like, each time I hear it, it's the same distance away, and it's not moving. So I don't know what the hell they are doing, and it's 3 a.m. Like, anyways, 3 a.m. on a Sunday as well. Well, Monday, depending on, But, anyways. Okay. So, my parents have brown eyes, hazel, like dark eyes. And I was born with blue. And I still have blue. Like, so I have like a blue outside. And the inside along my pupil is, it's like a yellow colour. And again, depending on the light, it will look green on the outside, kind of like a there's a specific colour you could use, I don't know, like a dark green, but like mixed with blue. And then in some lights it looks blue, but always the inside is yellow. So I think I have central heterochromia, and it would make sense because my mum has the light outside and the dark inside, and central heterochromia is a autosomal dominant trait. So all it takes is one parent to have it, one parent having it, to then pass it on to their children. So it would make sense that my mum would have it, and then that I would have it, and my brothers probably do as well. But obviously it's not as clear because they have dark eyes. So that goes on to my next point, that my brothers all have, like my youngest brother has like black eyes, like really dark brown. When he was born, they were like black. So like his eyes were just like white with a black circle in the middle. And then my middle brother just has like, I think hazel, or brown, you know what I mean, like one of those colours. So, what was I gonna say? It was something to do with eye colour. Yes. So, my parents used to always make the joke that, like, I'm the mailman's son, or the milkman, or the butcher, or whatever, right? Because my eyes, like, didn't match. And, when I did biology in year, like, when I first learned about recessive, like, traits, like genetics, I found it really interesting, this whole idea of, like, recessive genes and how, they can essentially skip a generation, and that's like, and I just find it interesting that I'm like a case for that, because I don't know who on my parents, like each parent's side, had blue eyes, but obviously one of them did, or carry the gene for it, because it somehow ended up like in my eyes. And I did an ancestry test like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I have relatives from both sides of the family, so I know I'm not adopted. So yeah, I just think it's interesting, just genetics, like how, like different characteristics can completely skip a generation, and how siblings can have such like varying characteristics, even though they have like the same, like, well, no, they don't have the same genetic makeup, but they're 50% like identical. just find that interesting. Just a fun fact I wanted to add. So, and again, another thing as well. I feel like, again, tied to that whole blonde hair, like, beauty standard, there's also, like, this beauty standard that blue, or, like, lighter coloured eyes are prettier. Again, like, I don't think that's particularly true. Like, because I don't know if everyone's seen that like, meme where it's, like, people with blue eyes be like, I don't know why I added that. It doesn't impact their beauty, but I guess it just shows that, like, there's this weird emphasis on, like, light coloured things. And, I'm not going to go too far into it because it's like, again, unless people are interested in this and want me to discuss it, but some people might find it very political. I personally don't really think it's political. I think it's just, like, a fact. But, like, like, people have different beliefs, but what I want to say is, I know that, like, these light societies, beauty standard of blondness and blue eyes, it's definitely linked to, like white. I don't want to say it on here because I don't know if YouTube would get angry. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of a synonym. Light coloured. Let's just say the societal belief that white people are better than other, that sounds worse, but you know what I mean, right? These whole, like, light characteristics being, like, the beauty standard, again, at least in the past, is definitely linked to, like, that whole idea. So, yeah, like, I know that's probably where they come from. They didn't just come out of nowhere. Like, we don't just make this stuff up. Well, we do, but we make it up based on, like, the time period. Because, again, in the Middle Ages, what was characterized as beautiful back then, very different. For example, women would shave their eyebrows and, like, pluck their hairline so that they could show, like, as much forehead as possible, because that was what they believed was beautiful. I find that really interesting, like, how obviously beauty is subjective, but how what society values as being beautiful changes so much, because, like, nowadays people are made fun of, like, heaps for having, like, bad hairlines. So it's just so interesting to think that in the past people were literally pulling out their hair to make their hairline what we would classify as worse. I just find that interesting. So, anyways, I will leave you all here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and a few disclaimers. I apologise if this video is not as great as any of the other ones. I don't know, I just feel like my yawning, my, like, constant fighting of the yawning might detract from the quality, and also that car might detract as well. So if that is the case, I apologise. And also, I really hope I didn't offend anyone when I was discussing, like, what is classified as beautiful. Like, I really want to emphasize that I'm not attacking anyone who has light features. Like, you can have light features, and you can have dark features. I literally do not care. Like, they're all beautiful in their own way. I just really want to emphasize that I'm not sitting there saying that I think one is better than the other, in either direction, like dark features or light, right? And when I say dark and light, I mean hair color and eye color. And thirdly, I hope that what I said wasn't too, like, I don't know, like, I personally, in my own life, I actually really like, like, sociological, like, philosophical, like, political conversations. I find it interesting interesting to discuss it. And I said I didn't want to get too contentious in these topics, so I apologize if my comment on, like white superiority was offensive, or too political or too contentious or whatever, right? Yeah, I don't know. It just feels strange for me to make a comment like that because I haven't really made comments like that on here before. But please let me know if you agree, disagree, with anything I said today, like the beauty standard thing. Do you prefer straight or curly hair, like both as a beauty standard and also as a, like, do you wish you had curly hair or do you wish you had straight, like, or are you happy with your hair? Do you like your hair color, your eye color? I don't know, I'm interested. It's pretty weird, it's a pretty strange topic, but I just wanted to talk about it. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed it, even if it was a bit different and a bit strange. So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for watching and for your support. I greatly appreciate it. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.